let's grab a bottle of wine and some good friends, because this one will take a while.
Hi, today I'm gonna be making a Christmas dish, one we use in Poland. It's pierogis, dumplings, with sauerkraut and mushroom. We serve it with borscht, with red borscht. It's like a red beet soup. It's my comfort food, so I find it delicious. And I would like to show you exactly how we go about it. If this is your first time here, my name is Anita, and I absolutely love food. Therefore, I decided I'm gonna create some recipes of your favorite foods and desserts, tweaking them a little bit so I can lower the calories on them, make them lighter, at the same time, never ever sacrifice the flavor. So if you're a food lover just like I am, and like to get away with little things here and there, you're in the right place. Smash the like button, click the subscribe and bell notification button so you don't miss any recipes. We're gonna start with preparing the filling for pierogis first. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this is a process. It's definitely a long-term process, and as you probably know, if you ever try to make Polish food, it does take some time, but it's worth it. So we're gonna start from the filling because it has to cool down. So I'm gonna create the sauerkraut, onion and mushroom filling first, let it cool down and prepare the pierogis. I have one trick for you. Once you start making the pierogis so the dough doesn't dry, I like to freeze them as I go. So I'll create 10 or 20 of them, I put them in the freezer, let them freeze. That way it's easy to stack them, they don't stick together because they're frozen, and you can create them ahead in advance. Therefore, the process doesn't take you all day long and make you completely tired. So let's start with the mushroom. So I have here 3 packages of mushroom, that's 8 ounces each. So 8 times 3, 24, so we have 24 ounces of mushroom. And there is another little trick that I want to share with you. So normally in Poland, people don't skip steps, and they make actually this particular dish with real wild mushroom. And since it's not very popular and it's not very easy to find wild mushroom out there, on top of it, you might find maybe dry ones, but they're extremely expensive. So my little trick is, I'm gonna get the crimini mushroom or the white mushroom, that's fine as well. And I'm gonna add just a little bit of the dry mushroom for that flavor. So we're gonna preserve the flavor, yet we're gonna make it a little bit less expensive and much easier for you to purchase the ingredients. So let's get started. So what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna get the dry mushroom in a bowl, boil some water, and I'm gonna put this hot boiling water over the mushroom and let it steep for about hour, couple of hours, for the mushroom to get softer and easy to handle. You want them, they have to be a little bit on the softer side. And in the meantime, let's cut 1 large onion, and I'm gonna chop the mushroom, the crimini mushroom. And you wanna make them fairly small pieces, so it's easier to put it in your pierogi shell. So now, next step, once the wild mushroom, the dry mushroom already softened, we're gonna drain them. And another thing that keep in mind, that water that the mushrooms were soaking in, it's actually very flavorful. So before you drain them, make sure you reserve the water just in case. If your mushroom filling and the sauerkraut filling gets a little bit drier, that would be a great water to water it with a lot of flavor. So I'm gonna chop this dry mushroom extremely finely, very, very finely, because what we want from it is that flavor. So the finer they are, the better it's gonna distribute over the food, our filling. And I'm gonna also chop up the sauerkraut, because sauerkraut comes in the can, or if you buy it like me, the type you buy in a glass container, it is long and it's going to be very hard to work with the filling and putting it in the perfectly into that little dumpling shell. So I recommend strongly that you cut that cabbage, or not that cabbage, the sauerkraut very finely, so it's easy to work with. So let's get cutting. Actually, for the holidays, for Christmas holidays, it's in my family, it's my job to make these dumplings. So I'm a little bit sneaky here, because I'm actually making it for our Christmas dinner. That way I'll share with you how you can make this delicious dumplings with sauerkraut and mushroom filling. And at the same time, I'm gonna have my pierogis ready for Christmas dinner. Pretty sneaky.
To a heated pan, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of butter and onion. After 5 minutes, when onion softens, I'm gonna add another half a tablespoon of butter, stir it up, and add the cut mushroom. It will take a few minutes, maybe 10-15 minutes before the mushroom is ready. And once they are, I'm gonna add another half a tablespoon of butter and the cut mushroom, the wild mushroom. Season a little bit with salt and pepper to taste, and cook it through. To the softened mushroom, I'm gonna add sauerkraut, and I'm gonna cook it for another 15 to 20 minutes. You're gonna know when the sauerkraut is softer, it's ready. Now I'm gonna add another half a tablespoon of butter and cook it for 5 more minutes, and it's gonna be a little bit dry, so I'm adding the wonderful wild mushroom liquid to it. And it's done. Let it cool, and while it's cooling, let's prepare the dumplings. You're gonna need 3 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of butter, and a cup of hot water. Also, you can add a little bit of salt, like a teaspoon of salt would be great. The hot water will make the dough very nice and soft. It's gonna be very easy to work with. It's gonna be warm in touch, but it really makes a difference for this type of dough. And I'm gonna cover the other part of dough with a towel so it doesn't dry out, and just roll the rest out. You need like a millimeter or 2 millimeters thickness. It just depends. If you like a lot of dough, you can make it thicker. You want to have more filling, like you see here, then you're gonna make it thinner. Completely up to you. And when I put them all together, I seal them first, and then I run it again through just to make sure it's sealed. And then on top of that, I'm gonna use a fork to even seal it more so they don't fall apart when I'm cooking them. Now, once I'm done, I'm gonna freeze them. I'm gonna freeze the first batch that I just worked on, and then while this is freezing, I'm gonna work on the other batch. And this is how they look when they're completely frozen. To prepare them for eating, make sure you serve them with onion and butter with some salt and pepper on it. And in the meantime, a pot of hot boiling water, a little bit of salt, put them in. Once they start boiling, you have about a couple of minutes and they're ready to eat. And make sure you serve them with borscht, red beet soup. Now my pierogis are ready for the fried onions and butter, and I'm definitely ready to eat. So I'll see you on the next one. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, click the bell notification so you don't miss any recipes.